Alright, what's up everybody? Today we're talking about the Bung King Crash Bar for Harley Sportster, how I got it, and can I reach it as highway peg. So let's roll the intro and let's get to it. Alright everybody, what is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. As you know, we travel around Philly on two wheels talking motorcycles, Harleys, Sportsters, Philadelphia, Philly destinations, all that good stuff. So if you are into any of that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop me a comment down there. Love to hear from everybody. So as you can see, we are starting this one off the bike today. We're on some side street off of Broad Street in Philly, which is right there. We're going to be taking a look at the Bung King Crash Bar. So it's a pretty cool story how I actually purchased this Bung King Crash Bar from another fellow Instagrammer, YouTuber. I'll tell that story in just a little bit. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Crash Bar, and I was also curious to see if I can reach the Crash Bar as highway pegs to stretch out a little bit. So first off with the Crash Bar, as everybody knows, just a big rod coming across the front of the bike here, designed to be of a little bit of protection and assistance in any tip overs. Obviously any major crash probably not going to help you out a whole lot, but you can see how it kind of sticks out here. If this tips over, this is going to protect you, your pipes, handlebars, your tank a little bit, hopefully protect any of that from any damage or scratches by keeping it tipped up, and hopefully obviously I never have to find that out. So we'll take a look at this side too. You can see how it kind of sticks out. If this tips over, it's going to protect the pegs, the shift peg, primary, all that good stuff. Hopefully protect the levers, the handlebars, the lights, and hopefully protect the tank too. So I was a little skeptical on the Crash Bar at first. Wasn't a huge fan of kind of the looks, but it kind of grew on me after a while, and I finally decided, I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to get one of these. As far as the install goes, pretty simple install. I was actually thinking about making an install video about this when I put it on. I had the whole thing set up, had the camera set up, pointing over, so I started taking a look, and I'm unscrewing some bolts, and next thing I know, I pretty much already had the thing on within like 12-15 minutes. So I was like, well, so much for a video. As you can see, just a couple quick bolts right here. You're going to bolt it in the front. You're going to bolt in over here. It's going to come with bolts already in here. You're going to take those out, use the bolts they give you, just place it right in there, and you're good to go. You can see the bolts on this side, just pop them out, replace them with what they give you. I will say maybe the hardest part is getting everything lined up for the bolts properly, but I mean, you might need an extra hand with that. I did it by myself, getting it lined up. That was a little tricky, but I mean, eventually you just get it lined up, get those bolts in, and you're good to go. So yeah, that's a look at the new Bung King Crash Bar I just installed on the Sportster. I'm loving it so far. I love the look of it anyways. Love a little bit of that protection that it'll get if it kind of tips over or anything like that. Like I said, hopefully never have to find out if that works. But I have actually seen some other pictures of people that kind of purposely tipped it over to see if it worked. Everything cleared, everything looked good. So, I mean, I trust it. I think it's good, looks good. Hopefully the functionality is good as well. Alright, so like I said, we're going to hop on the bike here. We're going to take a little cruise around Philly. I'm going to tell you a little story about how I came across the Crash Bar, and we're going to see if I can reach that as a highway peg, so stay tuned. Alright, so we are back on the bike now, cruising down Fairmount Ave in the Fairmount neighborhood of Philly. So like I said, I had been thinking about getting the Bung King Crash Bar for a while now. Initially, I wasn't super into them, but the more and more I kind of started to see it, I was like, that really adds like a cool look to the bike, adds a little bit of that functionality, hopefully protecting you from any tip overs or kind of light crashes where the bike might tip over from side to side. So like I mentioned, it's kind of a cool story about how I got this one and purchased this one. So I was kind of browsing around, and I'm looking at like, all the usual suspects like Revzilla, Bung King directly, like Lowbrow Customs, all those different places where everybody gets their motorcycle parts. And I had just been kind of holding off, like, for whatever reason, hadn't really pulled the trigger yet over winter. I was like, I mean, it's winter, I can't really I'm not really going to do much with it over winter anyways. So I'm browsing through Instagram the one day, and I'm just, clicking through stories, going through, and all of a sudden I see my guy Revsanity pop up selling a Bung King Crash Bar for Harley Sportster. And I'm like, oh dang, I gotta check this out. So I messaged him, I messaged Revsanity. I think we had chatted back and forth a couple other times. He makes YouTube videos. He's got some cool stuff going on Instagram. So 100%, definitely you gotta go check out Revsanity, my guy Revsanity on Instagram. Check out his YouTube channel. I'm gonna link up all that stuff down below. He's been putting out some really awesome content on YouTube lately. Getting really close to 1,000 followers as well, so make sure you go check him out. He might even hit 1,000 by the time this video comes out. But yeah, like I said, he's got some really good videos over there. He's been doing a lot of test rides lately on new 2021 bikes at his local dealer, I think. And he's going to be getting out on the Road Glide, Road King Special. So absolutely, do me a favor, head over to Revsanity, check out his IG, check out his YouTube. We got it linked up down in the comments. So anyways, like I was saying, back to the Crash Bar. So he posts a story on Instagram that I come across. He's like, hey, Bung King Crash Bar, Harley Sportster for sale. Here's the price. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta jump on this because this is gonna save me a few dollars, because take into account tax and shipping, stuff like that for many of these online places. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna save a couple dollars. So I message him, we're messaging back and forth. I decide I'm gonna take it. Apparently he was selling it because I guess with his wife's Sportster with like the forward controls, apparently the Crash Bar doesn't fit with the forward controls on the Sportster, which kind of makes sense because the forward controls are probably blocking where the Crash Bar needs to be attached to. So like I said, we got the deal done, sent him a PayPal. He shipped it up to me here in Philly. He's down in Florida. So he shipped it up here to me, arrived right at my door, and we were all set. So huge shout out to Revsanity. Thanks for doing that deal. Thanks for hooking me up. Thanks for shipping out the Crash Bar. We got her all installed, as you can see here. I'm loving the look of it. Hopefully I never have to find out if it tips over, but thanks again, Revsanity, for shipping that out. Like I said, everybody go check out his YouTube, Instagram. We'll get that stuff linked up down there. But like I was saying, I also wanted to see if I would be able to reach this as like a highway peg, because you know the Sportster has mid controls, not much of a reach out there when you start to get cramped up on the mids a little bit. So I was very curious once I got this installed to see if I was going to be able to reach this as like a highway peg to get my legs stretched out there. One of the things I was considering, as you guys know, you always hear me say I'm a shorter guy, I'm only 5'6", so these mids are actually pretty good with me. And the way that the Saddleman kind of slides me back on the frame a little bit, I actually have a little bit of an opening in my leg. I'm actually a huge fan of the mid controls. I feel like I have a good, you know, good presence on the bike, good grip, good control, all that good stuff. So I'm good with the mid controls, but I was still curious. I'm wondering, like, will I be able to reach this as a highway bar to stick my feet out and stretch out a little bit on some of those longer stretches? You know, getting out on the highway there, you know, you got a lot of long straightaway stretch. You might want to lean back, kick it back, stretch the feet out, give the knees a break a little bit. So that's what we're going to check on right now. I'm going to see if I can get my foot out there and see how this feels with my feet stretched out. Alright, here we go. So let's give it a little reach out here. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my, let me slide up a little bit. So I've got my feet on it, as you can see, but I've got to be honest, this is not very comfortable for me. I'm overextending my legs out. I practically have to overextend my legs and kind of point my feet to where it kind of reduces the purpose of even stretching my legs out. So let's see here. Let me slide. Alright, so let me slide forward here. Nope, still not too comfortable. Alright, let's try again here. Let's slide forward. I mean, I'm reaching it, but to keep my feet out there is almost more of a hassle than it is to be uncomfortable on the mid controls, which I'm not that uncomfortable anyways. So, I mean, take a look down there. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, it's kind of too much of a reach. Alright, so, well, I guess we solved that mystery. Too short to reach the Crash Bar as a highway peg. I guess we'll just be losing it for looks and functionality for a tip over for now. just realized that bag was just stuck to my peg the whole time. But anyways, yeah, a little bit too short. So like I said, I'm 5'6". I can reach it, but it was kind of almost uncomfortable to be that. It's almost uncomfortable to be that far extended just to reach it. A little bit of a bummer there, but like I said, with me being 5'6", I'm good with these mids. I mean, you can see the space that I have there. But yeah, just a little guy can't reach as a highway peg, but that's all right. We're good with the mids, so that's gonna solve that mystery for now, I suppose. Still love the way it looks. Still love some of that protection if it tips over, so I'm pretty excited to have the crash bar on now. Huge shout out to Revsanity for doing that deal, shipping that out. Glad I could take that off your hands. Thank you, as always. Like I said, make sure everybody go checks out his YouTube and IG. We'll get that stuff linked up there down at the bottom. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap that one up for today, talking about the crash bar, some of the installs, some of the looks. Cool story about how I got it from my dude Revsanity down there in Florida, shipped it out to the door. So we're gonna continue this ride along through Philly on a nice, what today is Sunday afternoon in March too. Look at this weather, beautiful. So as always, thanks for stopping by. And of course, make sure you ride safe out there. It's the Moto John. We'll see y'all on down the road. Peace.